The press secretary, the administration that's in the White House right now, has a lot of blame in these tactics that the left has been using to silence people.
I'm Amy Delora for the Washington Examiner. We're joined by Riley Gaines, 12-time NCAA champion and spokeswoman for the Women's Independent Forum. Riley, thank you so much for speaking with us again. Obviously, we have to first touch on the moment dominating the headlines. You said you just got off the phone with police. How are you doing now before we even get into it after that event?
I'm doing okay. I'm still traveling. I'm still going to different universities right now. I'm at the University of Buffalo where I'll be speaking tonight. So by no means has this deterred me, but it is a bit chilling. It's a bit unnerving to think about what people are willing to do these days to silence you. You do have to have that in the back of your mind now. This is never something I really worried about before. I, of course, know there's going to be protesters and people who disagree with me, but never once was I prepared to be ambushed in the way that I was. And so it's now something I think about. I have more adequate security now, which is something I never even thought I would need for simply saying men and women are different.
At the San Francisco State University, you said you were hit twice by a man, and then the rioters asked for a ransom while threatening you, which kept you locked in a room for 3 hours.
Tell her to pay us. Tell her to pay us, and then she could go.
Just hours before your speech turned assault, the White House press secretary said this.
LGBTQI+ kids are resilient. They are fierce. They fight back. They're not going anywhere. And we have their back. This administration has their back.
What do you make of that statement? Do you feel the Biden administration has given permission for people to act the way they did that night?
Absolutely, I do. When I was in my speech, I could hear protesters outside the hallway, because when I delivered my speech, that part went relatively civil. There was some heckling and some interruptions, of course, but it was civil. It was after my speech when I was ambushed, but when I was giving my speech, I could hear protesters in the hallway, on both ends of the hallway. One side would yell, "Trans rights are under attack," and the other side would yell back, "What do? We fight back." And notice how the verbiage is the exact same. They fight back. That's what they were yelling in this hallway, and you can't help but see the resemblance, almost the irony behind it. The press secretary says this the day before, and now they're saying it the same day, the same words that I'm ambushed at San Francisco State. And I think the Biden administration has further pushed even how the university has responded. I think it's pushed their response in the way that how it was communicated, because instead of condemning violence or saying, we uphold free speech, even if it's something we don't agree with, the university responded with, "We're so proud of our brave students for protesting so peacefully. We applaud them for it can be so hard to be in these adverse situations, but we applaud them. And here's some counseling resources for them, because this is so hard to listen to someone you disagree with." And so I think the press secretary, the administration that's in the White House right now, has a lot of blame in these tactics that the left has been using to silence people.
And you said that you plan on pressing charges, taking this to court. Is that something you have started to do?
Yes, I'm in the process of figuring out what that looks like. I believe there needs to be accountability taken. There needs to be, whether that be from the administration, the campus police department. I, of course, respect all police force, but the campus police did a very poor job in this scenario. Whether that be, of course, against the protesters who verbally and physically assaulted me, and not just me, there was other women in the room who were hit as well. There has to be some responsibility. You can't do these things and get away with it. It shows how two-tiered our justice system is. And so if I have anything to do with it, there will be someone answering to this, and not me, as they're trying to paint it. They're saying I'm the one who's spreading the violence. We know that's not true. If you saw these videos, that's not the case.
Yeah.
And so
it's exactly what I was going to say. There is all of these videos. Would you be able to, you said, like I said, you were hit by a man twice. Would you be able to point out that person? Is there video of this happening? Since like I said, there are tons of videos from that night.
Absolutely. So my problem is they turned off the lights. It was strategic. Of course, they entered the room, they turned off the lights. And so I'm not entirely sure I got a full picture. And so I'm in the process of acquiring the CCTV footage. I'm in the process of the police recovering their body cam footage to see what that looks like.
Now, this attack has been seen everywhere. You're booked on You're getting all these interviews, you're having all this support from big media, from big names like Elon Musk, from lawmakers. It made you a martyr. You have trucks going across cities now with your face and videos of what happened. In a way, this attack has launched your name, and the best thing that's ever happened for your name recognition. What do you plan to do with this newfound fame? Well, obviously it was a traumatic experience. It's giving you a very large platform. What is Riley Gaines going to do now with this?
Well, that's your I think that's a good point, is because of course they were trying to silence me, but it totally backfired, because almost overnight, I mean, my social media following quadrupled. The people who knew the story of the competition or NCAA championships, it quadrupled. I mean, it's crazy. So I think it's almost kind of comical that it backfired in such a way. But what now? I'm still, this is something I pray about every day, because again, I'm still learning. I'm learning how the political sphere works. I'm learning how a lot of kind of the back end of the media and different things, how they run, how they operate. And so, to be totally frank, my mission is not complete in protecting women's sports. I'm still traveling state to state testifying. I'm going to North Carolina next week. I'm still trying to get myself in front of the younger generation, college age students. Like I said, today I'm at University of Buffalo. Yesterday I was at James Madison University. The day before that I was at Liberty University. So it's so important to me to engage with people my age. We need these people to open their eyes to really the damage, the irrefutable damage that's being done, not just by not protecting women's sports, but by not allowing free speech. And so I'm encouraging others to feel comfortable using their voice. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. Outside of that, I'm not sure, but I know this is why I was put in this position. This is why I have the platform that I have.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Riley Gaines, for joining us today. I'm Amy DeLaura for the Washington Examiner, and you can get straight news, conservative views, and exclusive interviews at washingtonexaminer.com.